the more I thought about it, the more my philosophical juices, if you will, got to flowing. As it relates to the Facebook post I made regarding what I perceive as utmost dysfunction and what the American Black Collective has deemed our musical culture. As I stated, the dress, the behavior, and this video isn't a reiteration of that. I mean, it's pretty clear how I feel about that look, that behavior, and how more than anything it makes us a target. And that's what this video is about. Now, you would think of people who justifiably and unjustifiably make it a commonplace to talk about not only the injustice that we suffer in this country, we being an American Black collective, but also how we're profiled. And the old adage of never judge a book by its cover and all that stuff. First of all, let me address that real quick. That sounds real good, but there isn't a human being alive there isn't anyone, at least in the in Western civilization, that doesn't judge a book by its cover. Sometimes judging a book by a cover can save your damn life. So that whole thing is complete BS. We all critique, judge, and make assumptions and assessments about the way people look and how they behave in relation to how they look. So let's not pretend to be ignorant on reality here. But back to what I was saying, people who make no bones about talking about how unjustly they're viewed and perceived, you would think that knowing that, they will go out of their way to make sure themselves as well as their children don't solicit or summons unnecessary prejudice by wearing certain attire, an attire that has been made popular by certain segments of society. And it's the same thing that I told you all about your dysfunction that you voluntarily and gleefully put on the world stage for everybody to see, i.e. World Star Hip Hop. The fighting, the shooting, just the dysfunction. The same goes for hip hop videos. Cops see it, employers see it. So I'm often shocked, or I'm just confused and befuddled when the American Black Collective acts so appalled that they will be seen in a certain light, whether you fail to realize it or not. Our culture precedes us individually. So if you have a culture that you've embraced, it'll be different if hip-hop videos, what the content on World Star Hip Hop, reality TV shows that perpetuate negative stereotypes about us. It'd be different if the American Black Collective used a voice of disagreement, and we had a collective voice about wanting to dismantle this view of us. Then it would be different, because let's face it, no one could be able to say that that's something we embrace and something we participate in. But since that's not the case, white racist America and white racist cops see that as it being who we are. And so, I mean, it's just something to think about. You look the part. What is that? What is that expression? If it looks like a duck. If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it must be a duck. I mean, this is elementary. So you just think about that when you sending, when you allowing and encouraging your sons, your young sons, your young daughters. I mean, I see way too often, and this is not a video about single parents, but I see way too often mothers and fathers dressing their children, little toddlers, like these like these dysfunctional individuals in these hip-hop videos. So they start them early dressing this way, bringing them up, I mean, pants sagging. So when a cop sees them, when a potential employer sees them, and then not to mention, they adapt this swagger, this hip-hop swagger that comes with it. If they exercise that all day, if they dress like that all day, they talk like that all day, they can't, the average person can't turn that shit on and off. They just can't. It becomes who they are. It becomes a part of their makeup, whether it's a facade or not. Whether you're an actual thug or gang member or whatever or not, it doesn't matter. Because you've adapted that level of behavior so much, it's become a part of your persona. So you can't just turn that on and off. So whether you know it or not, by supporting that dysfunctional dress, that dysfunctional behavior, I don't give a shit what you call it, it's dysfunction. By doing so, you literally cripple your children before they have a chance. You already admit that they have the blight of being black in America, KKK, America KKA. So why would you further hinder them by perpetuating this dysfunction? And whether you see the dysfunction or not is irrelevant. Society, by and large, sees it as dysfunction. And what's y'all go-to move? Well, white people do it. White people clearly are winning. According to you, they're winning. And you said that this is it's white privilege is at a premium. So why would you compare what they do to what you do? Why would you expect it to be seen any differently if you're already seen differently because of the color of your skin? So I can squash that position and that right off the bat. Not to mention, what are you? Okay, if you don't want white standards of beauty to be the benchmark, if you don't want whiteness to be measured against yours, why would you want what white people do being deemed okay? Why would that be a catalyst for you doing what you do? You see how contradictory that is? And y'all's hypocrisy is a stench in the nostrils of y'all's God. Because for everything that you all say, I can present a position where your hypocrisy is front and center. So, the crux of this video, this short video, it is not only of the utmost importance to this immediate generation as it relates to allowing your children to dress and act and talk like these hip-hop artists. They're likely to rear their children doing the same thing and allowing the same thing. So this is just another poisonous attribute that the American Black Collective has adapted, and another detrimental factor in prohibiting our progression. And even the fools that say things like, it's just music, it's just a dress code, those would be the same people who or holding Black Lives Matter sign when one of these guys are gunned down, or one of them are having there's a case of mistaken identity. The burglar who just robbed the local convenience store, he had his pants sagging down to his knees with a belt on. He had a t-shirt that reached to his ankles. He had this or that. You know the dress y'all love. You know, so, you know, your son just happened to be in the area, ma'am. We're sorry, but he's dead. Hey, y'all need to get to the point to where y'all stop thinking about what's perceivably right or wrong and understand the jungle that you're living in. You need to understand the current zeitgeist, the current America that you live in. Whether it's right or wrong, it has no point of relevance. That's what y'all don't get. Y'all think fairness is an inalienable right. It's not. Though that's preached, though that type of rhetoric is spewed constantly, fairness and equality, there is no fairness and equality. And this transcends race. This transcends race. You just need to understand your environment and adjust accordingly. Not just for survival, but for progression. It's that simple. # Truck UTV Central. I'm done.